All right, we're live. Come on in, guys. Let's see what we got here. Laughs, how are you? 1 second, guys. I got a little bit of a problem here. Hold on here. We'll see what happens here. I think we're okay. Let me get rid of that background. All right, guys, come on in here. Appreciate you guys being here. And we are, today's topic is the Barack Obama story update, justice. Us Americans need justice. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Mike and Janine. Appreciate you guys being here. Laughs. I hope everybody can hear me. We are live on this Sunday. Cooler afternoon in Las Vegas, Nevada, Mike. Afternoon. Sherry K. Appreciate everybody for just coming in, like and subscribe. Excuse me, guys. Took yesterday off, guys. But today, the developing story. Tulsi Gabbard was live this morning on certain news outlets on Fox, and she wants to tell all and lead the information to the FBI. Ardell, how are you? Appreciate you guys being here. You tell me. What's up? You tell me. Appreciate you guys. I'll read a few comments. We're going to get started in today's live. Now, before we go any farther, thank you so much for all the likes, subscribing on my last camping trip. We picked up another 120 subscribers, so thank you guys all. There's lots of YouTube shorts out there with the homeless. If you're new to the channel, we have a couple of those shorts that are really taking off, and that is not because of me. That is all because of you guys for liking and sharing these short videos. There's some that puts a tear in your eye, helping out the homeless, the dogs, and that kind of stuff, and we're going to continue to do that. So just a reminder, if you go on there and hit the like, appreciate it. All right, so we're going to get into today's topic. I have some notes here, but before I get started, let me just get set up here real quick. I hope the Wi-Fi, you know why? I got to do something with the Wi-Fi here. Hold on 1 second, guys. I think the Wi-Fi is all messed up. Man. Yeah, we might have to start. Let me see here. This phone, the Wi-Fi. Not even going to get on the subject with Wi-Fi and the internet providers out here. All right, guys, thank you so much for liking. So we're going to get into, it's about us. Here we go, another cover-up. But this time, I think Tulsi Gabbard is going to hand this over to FBI. Pam Bondi, here she goes again. If she handles this correctly, it'll be great. If she handles this wrong, she'll be gone. Because we know about the Epstein files. I'm not going to get a whole back into that again. Maybe a little bit. But if Pam Bondi butchers this, messes it up, screws it up, other words, she'll be finished. I'm still not a believer in her. That's just me. Now, Tulsi Gabbard, I salute. So she was on Fox this morning. Hello, everybody. I'm Sal. Come on in and sit back and get your popcorn. Good morning, or actually good afternoon. Afternoon everywhere. This was about the Russia hoax made up story. Now, guys, I'm going to give you my comment and my opinion later. I'm going to ask the chat, do you think it's possible that Barack Obama made up this story? And did you think, separate part of the question, yes or no on Barack Obama making this story up? But part two, you think he told Hillary about it? I'm not defending. I'm just bringing up that because nobody else is talking about it. Do you think that Hillary Clinton had no idea as why, she went on that Russia influenced the election? Now, by the way, we're talking about the 2016 election that Trump won. And Tulsi Gabbard is bringing this up because she wants to protect the Republican Party, the Democrat Party. Let's be honest. I like her, and I think YouTube channels need to be realistic on this. Here I go again. Be honest. We need to protect the United States Constitution of all future presidents, whether you vote Democrat or Republican, right? We can't have this happen. But according to Tulsi Gabbard, her information on December 9th meeting was made up. But why would Barack Obama possibly make up a story to influence elections? She says, I quote, Tulsi Gabbard, not me, I'm Sal, welcome in. She said this, he made it up and Russia had no influence in the election, Moscow, Russia on the Democrat Party, either or the Republican Party. They had no shape, way, or form to interfere with our election. It was all made up. Now, they had some of us convinced. You know, I would have to be a liar if I'm like, whoa, could there be something? You know, but now the documents are coming out. 100, what was it? 100 documents? I believe it was 100 documents that were simply just made up. So the question I have is, why would Barack Obama make something up to do this? We understand that he was a Democrat. He won 2 terms. And you know, some feel that he did an okay job. Some feel that he didn't do a good job. But why would he interfere to save the Democrat Party? Barack Obama, and I'm going to read a few more names. Susan Rice. I want everybody to look her up later on, or if you want to listen to this live and look her up. Susan Rice, trust me when I tell you this, allegedly, could be in some big trouble. Yeah, Susan Rice, because she was another name mentioned in this, along with John Bremen, James Clapper, and Hillary Clinton. James Clapper. So all these guys were allegedly, we don't know for sure, could be involved in this major cover-up to interfere in the 2016 election to defeat Donald Trump. But here we go. Information is coming out, and this is going to be, where do we go from here? From here. My question is, where do we go from here? What will happen to this story? Will it be another Jeffrey Epstein story, or will they take this much serious because it involved an election and possibility? Now, we all know, hello, Chicken Nugget, that this didn't cause any problems because Trump won that election, and the rest is history. Now won again. So you know, these names here: Susan Rice, and John Bremen, and James Clapper, and Hillary Clinton. But Barack Obama, you know, he was the king of this organized allegedly. He's got to be very nervous, probably thinking that this would never become of anything. Well, here we are now in 2025, and I'm sure Barack Obama, this can really demolish his legacy. Now, as far as anything, people being arrested, what I'm hearing, if indeed the FBI, DOJ, and they continue this, the person they're really looking at, I mean, for me, if it's true, will be Barack Obama. But this Susan Rice. So come on in, guys. Appreciate being here. Interesting. You know, politics, guys, can be very messy, very complicated, very dirty. But we, the people, the taxpayers, never forget that. I don't care if it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, Biden administration, or anybody else. It is about us. Never forget that. And have I called out Donald Trump on here? Because a lot of MAGA stations in Trump, I don't know why. I will. Because I know I am a Trump supporter. I know he's done great in all areas. I've called him out. I'm reading the Epstein files. I've called him out on this Epstein files. I've called him out, and we want answers. Even though I don't think him or any other president was on there, I've called him out. It is about us. And I think more people, Fox, CNN, fake news, CNBC, great YouTube channels, need to be honest with the American people. It's never about the president or the vice president or the committee. It is about us. And why do we get lied to? And why are they playing dirty politics? It's one thing being dirty, but to be dirty and to make up something. Why would Barack Obama make this up? In the chat, I'd like to hear some comments. Again, if you're just coming in, 13 likes. I would appreciate you guys taking the time to hit the like button. I know a lot of us come in here, maybe don't like the story, or some come in and get into the live and forget to hit the like. So just a friendly reminder, if you can go back and hit the like, as it does help out these lives and continue, and also other YouTube channels. It's just hitting those 3 dots, and I appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna. So I asked a question: why would Barack Obama do some make-up story like this? It's like something in high school. Let me start a poll. Hold on, guys. All right, I just put a poll, guys. I got quiet there. I just put a poll there, guys. It should be up on the screen. Hoax, made up story, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm going to get into the comments in a second. But my question is, why would a president, former President Barack Obama, who won 2 terms, he won 2 terms, right? Make up a story like that? Boy, that, I got to tell you, that's scary. To involve Russia, to involve Moscow and Russia and Putin into this, just make it up. You know, Russia influenced the election of Hillary Clinton, who's never going to see anything in politics at all, in my opinion. I think she's completely gone. And set it up. And set this up to try to defeat, didn't work, Donald J. Trump, our sitting president, 48th president, in my opinion, is doing an amazing job. And yes, if you're coming across this channel, are you another MAGA station? I am a station for all. Yes, I voted for Trump 3 times. But I will call out Donald Trump. I have no problem in Italian giving him graziad. And what a graziad is in Italian for YouTube is help. I will give him, call him out. I'll call myself out. So yes, I will call Donald Trump out. But in this case, this is serious. And I'm sure Donald Trump is sitting back. He probably knew a lot of this stuff. But I think he was just waiting. And, you know, I got to say, Tulsi Gabbard, I like her. She's calm, collective, smart, and she uses her words. I like how she says allegedly, and they asked her questions about will there be arrest. And I like the way she answered, not like Pam Bondi. Now, I'll call out Pam Bondi. She did not look for excuses. I am not the FBI. I am not the FBI either. And Tulsi Gabbard this morning on Fox said this. They asked her question. I think it was Maria from Fox. Should they be arrested? Meaning Barack Obama, Susan Rice. And she was, listen, I am not the FBI. I'm just doing my job. Love the answer. Clean, calm, and I believe, I'm giving you my comment that there's something there. Something there. Now, whether it was all Barack Obama, was it these other people like Susan Rice? I just don't know. Was Hillary Clinton behind this thing? That's up to you guys to comment. Now, let me check out our poll real quick, just real quick. So I put on, did Obama make up Russia hoax? 32% says yes, 68% says no. Interesting. Interesting. So most people on this live believe that Barack Obama would not make a story or a hoax up like that. I'm going to give you my views in a little bit. I'm going to read some comments first, and then we're going to get back into today's topic. I appreciate, I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. I've had an extra long weekend. Let's see some comments here. So we had Chicken Nuggets in here. Mike M's in here. Janine's in here. As far as moderators go, appreciate you guys tuning in on this Sunday afternoon. Yep. Blaming Obama. Epstein is your, Vehicle, how are you? Good to see you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Nacho, how are you, Nacho Pancake? Good to see you on here. Appreciate you. Thank you for putting that out there. Like and subscribe. Appreciate that, Nacho Pancake. High five, fist bump. Yeah, I am outside today as the weather's cooling down. Trump's on the list. Yeah. I think this story, okay. This was a December 9th meeting that is made up story allegedly made up by the Barack Obama senior advisors and the team of Barack Obama, including Susan Rice. Yeah, I'm reading here about Susan Rice. They really want to go after her. Look her up if you don't remember who she is. And then John Brennan and James Clapper. So these people were all involved in, of course, Hillary Clinton. Remember Russia, Russia, Russia? Can I refresh everybody's memory? Remember when laptops, well, you still have laptops. Remember the emails were all like gone? That's crazy. It's crazy. And, you know, and they try to crucify Donald Trump, literally crucify him in many ways, right? All these felony charges. Well, let's not mention July 13th of 2024 when they tried to assassinate him and say it was the 20-year-old young man. Yeah, it was him. All evidence was, but I still think they need to unravel that. But now the truth is coming out on the Democrat on Barack Obama. So we're going back to Barack Obama. We can pause the Biden administration committee because that was a committee. We all know what's going on with that. But today's topic is Barack Obama, who I'm sure he's got a hell of a lot of explanation. I got to tell you, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Do we go ahead? Does the FBI give us out and continue to pursue this information out there? Would we ever get answers? Allegedly, if Barack Obama made up a story like that, I mean, will we get any justice at all? And as far as the Epstein, I see the Epsteins coming in, and Trump has now said we turn that over to the grand jury. I don't know if we're going to get much information on that either, but it's not going away. And I've said this before. I'll touch on the Epstein a little bit. I believe if you're a MAGA or a Trump supporter or any supporter, the more that Trump talks about it, the worse it is. So if I was Trump, Goomba in Italian, friend, advisor, or anything, I would tell Trump in Italian, state zitti, be quiet. So the more he brings it up, it's not going to go away. I think Trump needs to be quiet on that and continue running this beautiful nation and let the court and the justice system handle that Epstein file that is, for me, another cover-up. So this is the problem we have as Americans, as a Democrat and Republican. And this is why, once again, I voted for Donald Trump. Because I felt that Donald Trump would be the man, in this case a man, to call out the government. Not afraid of some of the other presidents who are afraid to do that. Some of the great, like Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan. But this man, Bill Clinton, not Hillary, this man is, once before he dies, he wants to leave behind a justice for all. For a future Democrat president, because you will have a future Democrat president. All right, it's just going to happen. Not anytime soon. You will have another Republican president. You're probably going to have a female president, and so on and so forth. Maybe even a gay president, maybe even an Italian president. But he's trying to save for all. Guys, do you understand? The government's been hiding stuff since way back. John F. Kennedy. Other big leaders. Martin Luther King, one of the greats. And much, much more. And now Trump is going to pull and use all his power and trust Tulsi Gabbard into finding out details and information, a made-up hoax. Why? Why was Barack Obama, I'm asking all of you, why would Barack Obama do this? I know what you're going to say. He didn't like Trump. He hated Trump. I think it's much more. I think it's much, much more than a president at the time, Barack Obama, not liking Trump. I think it's much above that. I'm going to read some comments. Why would he do something? Allegedly. We don't know for sure. I keep saying the words allegedly because he is still innocent. But they are looking at Susan Rice and these other parts, these names I just mentioned, John Bremen, and James Clapper and Hillary Clinton. And I believe that Tulsi Gabbard, she's a smart. You guys like Tulsi Gabbard in the chat? Yes or no? You like Tulsi Gabbard? That gray hair on the side of her, strong. Watch her for future president, guys. I keep mentioning J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. Watch out for Tulsi Gabbard. A lot of yeses. She's a badass. I like her. Calm. Don't Peek's in the house. Hello, Don't Peek. Calm, collective. A woman. Smart. You know, you can say she's conservative. I think she is, but she's got something that, like a Trump thing, but she's calmer. I like that. She's a little calmer, and I think she is for all of us. I like the words that she says. I like how she says we need to protect. Here's what I like she says. We need to protect the justice for all. We need to protect the Democrat Party and the Republican Party. I love that. She is for all. For me, I'm going to say it as it is because that's who I am. I'm a Trump supporter. A little different from Trump. You could say, well, she's nicer. No. I like how she includes all of us. I like her. I'm actually liking her more than Marco Rubio. Now, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you guys being here. Like and subscribe. I am Sal, and we are live almost every day. I do take a day off. We appreciate all the memberships, all the likes, 100%. Help out the homeless when we can here in Las Vegas metropolitan area. So I appreciate all. Ozzy Crosby's in the house. Appreciate it. I seen Don't Peek in the house. Appreciate all my loyal subscribers and older subscribers and all new subscribers. Feel free to interact with each other in the chat. Have fun. Be respectful. Disagree. But no hate. Disagree. You can disagree, agree, just no hate. No threats. We don't need any of that. Not on this channel, not on any channel. So just be respectful, but you can disagree and disagree with me. I have no problem. I have no problem calling out Donald Trump because I've done it. And all my subscribers are probably saying, yeah, you have, Sal. And some of my subscribers probably saying, we didn't like it. And some are probably saying, we do like it. So I have no problem calling out both administrations. Now, Cindy, how are you? Let me get some... Now, if you are new here, a lot of people will come on here and say, you're a MAGA. You're a Republican. You're just Trump, Trump, Trump. Trump can never do wrong. Well, guess what? No, I am not one of those channels. However, I'm not putting down any other channel because that's their channel and their YouTube channel or podcast or Facebook should do what the hell they want. I am just for all of us. I want what's right. Now, the issues that Trump is doing is this. At the end of the day, I'm not happy. All right, let me just say this. Come on in. I'm still not happy with the Epstein on how he's handled it. I also think it's much bigger than that. I feel that, I think I've said this a couple times. Janine can probably back this up on me. Janine, I'm sorry I'm calling you out. I am worried about his life. You know, if he indeed, and no, I don't think Donald Trump's on that list. And I'll even go farther. I don't think Barack Obama's on the list. I'm just going to say that. Okay. But let me just continue. I'm afraid that Trump is worried about a possible assassination on this Epstein files. I'm going to talk about just a little bit. So he's worried about himself, more so his family, his grandkids, his kids, and all of us. So he's got to handle this very smart. I don't know if we're going to have all the names on who was at the island, who did these horrific crimes. I know that the children, the family needs answers, and I like answers. But we're not one of those stations where I'm not afraid to point out where Trump went wrong. I just pointed out I think Trump should keep his mouth shut. I think sometimes I have no problem with him cursing, dropping the F word. But you know why? Because he's like one of us. I like that. But sometimes, in case you're new to the channel, sometimes I believe that Donald Trump and the previous administration, and now is his DNA, he'll say some things like calling out all of us, like almost like I don't need you. However, I think when he's making those comments, he was making it towards, I'm referring to the Epstein files, to Tucker Carlson and to other Republicans who voted for him. But I think what he should say is just call out Tucker Carlson or call out Fox News or call out CNN. But don't say some Republicans, pretty much can go to hell. I don't like that. All right, thank you for that donation. Deport MAGA back to Europe where they belong, damn immigrants. So thank you for the donation. I appreciate that and your comment. And help sponsoring today's live. And 100% of that proceed of that $5 generous donation goes to the homeless. So thank you so much. So I'm just saying, guys, every YouTube channel has their views, points on both sides. And Tucker Carlson has his right to call out Trump. However, I think Tucker Carlson's playing politics. I think he'll be mixed up into 2028 somehow. I think Tucker Carlson might possibly run for president or involve himself somewhere in there. So I think he does it for other reasons. I call out Donald Trump when I believe it's for us and justice for young children that were getting abused. And I'm not saying Trump had anything to do with it, but I'd like to get more information. So there you go. I've called it out there multiple times. I've done it before. Now, we're going to get back to this topic today. Number one, why was this hidden? So I'm going to ask that question first to the chat. When I say why was this hidden, I'm going back to I'm going back to Barack Obama allegedly made up hoax on Russia to involve the election in the Republican Democrat Party. As Tulsi Gabbard says, there was no interference on both sides. Russia had nothing to do with it. They have their own problem, right? So, number one, why was this hidden to the public? Why were we left out? What's your response? Why was this hidden? My chat just froze up. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the hell's going on. So YouTube, we have 1,000 in here. Wow, that's thank you so much. We got over 1,000. Everything just froze up. So Trump is guilty. What's up, Ben? Appreciate it. Everybody be free to leave your comments. I'll check our poll. But yeah, it was the question. Why was this hidden? Anybody? Anybody's thoughts why this was hidden? When I say this, we're going back to Barack Obama years that he won 2 terms. Why was it hidden? Rhinos were on it. Interesting. Thank you for that comment, Janine, our loyal subscriber and moderator. And thank you for the moderators on here today. Appreciate you guys. Let me just say this real quick on the moderators. I can never do this without my great moderators. There's nothing you can ever do wrong. So I appreciate it. Interesting comment. Why was this hidden? Why was this hidden to the American people? Because you know what, guys? How can I put this? I was going to say, well, forget Trump for a second. I'll forget Trump. Why don't we deserve answers? Why come the Republicans and Democrats and independents on here? Why was this hidden from us? That's my question. Putin hated Obama. Interesting. Okay. Fair comment. Caught that comment as the chat is moving rapidly. I appreciate you guys being here. Like and subscribe if you haven't. All right, I'm reading along here. If you're just coming in on this Sunday, first of all, God bless you and your family on this week, Sunday. We're talking about mostly Barack Obama. He's got to be nervous today because Tulsi Gabbard is saying there was no interference in the 2016 election with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, who won. And she says there was no interference on the Democrat side or on the Republican side. It was a fair election, and Russia had nothing to do with it. And they asked her other questions, about Russia and the war. No, her job is to unravel the truth. And she uses the words allegedly, and she also says, I am not the FBI. That's going to be up to the FBI, DOJ, on how they handle on Barack Obama. Let me ask you this. Do you think Barack Obama will face charges? Yes or no? Or Y or N? Do you think Barack Obama will face any kind of penalty, charges? If this was a made-up story, this is a felony. This is a serious crime. What do you think? You think whatever you think, or would it just, if it does all come out, Barack Obama will just say and have his attorneys blame it on Susan Rice and make Susan Rice pay for it, or some of these other guys, John Brennan, or James Clapper, Think he'll push it off on Hillary? Get it off my lap. I got enough problems. I've got stories that he's going through a marriage, problems with Michelle Obama. Maybe. We don't know about that either. That could be all made up. But I'm sure he just wants to relax and go down as a two-term president. I'll give him a D on a report card. You know, he's not the worst administration. We all know what the worst administration was, and it wasn't Jimmy Carter, right? We all know about the committee and the auto pen. That's the worst. I would have to put Jimmy Carter second. But this was certainly, if this comes out, allegedly on Barack Obama, well, he'll go down as the worst. He will go down as a hoax president, followed by the team around him. But we just don't know, guys. Right now, we have to get more information. I'd like to see justice and proving him either guilty or non-guilty. Or guilty as a made-up story, non-guilty. You know, I want to hear. Or, you know, maybe he didn't make it up. Maybe it was Susan Rice. You know, maybe it was Hillary. Either way, we deserve answers. Yes or no? Either way. But it's weird because that all went away, remember? I want you guys to think about it. For me, I'll say this. I don't think Russia had any shape, way, or form on the election. Now, do I trust Russia and Putin? Let's just say this. Putin? Hell no. He's a piece of shit. He's nuts. He's insane. All he's worried about is money, money, money. That's it. And that's why we have this war. Okay. I don't trust North Korea. I don't trust China. I'll go a little farther. I'm confused about Ukraine. I don't even trust Israel. So I went a little farther. Right? I call it as it is. I don't trust Netanyahu. I don't trust him at all. Not at all. And I believe they want something from us. But when we go back to this topic, I would think that we have too strong to FBI and to let something like this happen. I don't think they would let a story. I mean, it's possibly be made up. That's up to you guys. But to interfere with the United States election, whether it's Trump or Hillary or Tulsi Gabbard against AOC or Marco Rubio against Gavin Newsom or Josh Shapiro against J.D. Vance, whatever. Those are some of the names that are out there. That's why I'm saying them. Those are names out there for 20. We need to protect the system. We don't have no system. And they're going to continue to make up crap. How the hell would a president, Barack Obama, because he was smart. He was smart. He got into the universities. He did something that the Bush could not do, the Clintons could not do. And he got into the heads of Harvard, UCLA, Yale, and he brainwashed those young people. And he got elected. And he was a good talker. You cannot take that away. And some think that he was a fair president. But I got to tell you, fair if there was no involvement, in made-up story. That's nuts. I still can't believe that this is going on in America and that this happened in 2016. Check our poll out. Did Obama make up Russia hoax? 32% says yes, 68% says no. Free Epstein. And that's going around too, that Jeffrey Epstein is alive. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein is alive? Yes or no in the chat. You actually think that Epstein is on this planet somewhere? Yes or no, or Y or N? What do you think? Yeah? Epstein's alive? You think he's alive? What do you think, guys? Jeffrey Epstein alive? No? Ardell says no. What's up, Ardell? Daniel says no. And if you said yes, where's he at? Where's he at? Is he here in Las Vegas? Is he on the island? Is he in Mexico? Where's he at? Russia? Where's Jeffrey Epstein? Or is he 6 foot under? Where the hell's he at if he's alive? I'm just asking. I'm not doubting. I'm just asking a question. Is Jeffrey Epstein still alive? Interesting. Some think he's alive. I will share this story. And I've shared this before, but for all... Now, if you're new here, if you feel comfortable, let us know you're new and where you're coming in from. You don't have to tell us the city, the state. If you're new, let us know where you're coming in from. I'm going to share something with you all. A close friend, somebody I know who was in prison with him, with Jeffrey Epstein, what he's sharing. So let me know if you're new, and I will share this story in a second. From UK, what's up, UK? How's UK? How's the weather over there in UK? I heard it's been some storms. What's up, Dallas? From Dallas in Oregon. What's going on? Yeah, if you're new, let us know where you're from. Somebody says he's dead. Some think he's alive. Some think he committed suicide, took his own life, and others think he was taken out by the CIA. What's up, Houston? Good to see you. Utah, what's going on in Utah? God bless Utah. He was killed, somebody says. What's up, New York? Maine. I'm going to Maine in October. Let me know. We're going to go to a horror something in Maine there and eat lobster. What's up, LA? What's going on in Houston? Arkansas, beautiful area. Good to see everybody in here tonight. What's going on in Florida? What's up, Jim? Ohio's in the house. Wow, we got people from everywhere. Great to see us. Austin. How's Austin? Cindy, how are you? Anybody here from Italy, Germany, Canada, Scotland, Jersey Shore? What's going on, Sherry? I used to go to Ocean City, 9th Street. Trump, 28. Germany, what's going on in Germany? Been to Germany, beautiful. San Diego, perfect weather, other than Spain. San Diego and Spain, South Carolina's in the house, perfect weather. Maryland, send me some crab cakes. What's up, Russia? Greenland. Greenland. God bless Greenland. Interesting. Scotland's here. British is in the house. British Columbia, excuse me. Scotland's in the house. New York, New York. What's happening in New York? All right, so North Dakota's in the house. So here's this. So, crab cake taco. Now, you mentioned that you can start a food truck right now and own your own business. I don't want to, but that'd be a great business, huh? Crab cake tacos? Forget about it. Followed with shrimp and steak and chicken. You got a gold mine business. All right, so I know a guy, and he has a YouTube channel, million subscribers, and he does a good job. And just one of the guys, I can't say that name, but Michael Francine, he was in organized crime. He was involved in the mob, and he had to deal with the. He admitted to all this, and now he's, real faith to God, and good for him. And anyhow, he was in jail at the same time with Jeffrey Epstein, and his comments were, and he's been on a lot of news. He does a good job. He's pretty fair, like we are. He's open-minded, and he's called out Trump, and he voted for Trump, and beautiful family has, but he has a huge channel, and he's his own wine and that kind of stuff. But he said that, in his opinion, there was no way that he could commit suicide with any sheets. There was nothing there. And, he don't know for a fact, but he says there's no way to commit suicide by strangling yourself. My dog just came out. Want to see Max? Max, what's going on over here? You want to take a pashad? There you go. Take a leak on Barack Obama? There you go. Hold on, guys. Let me let the dog in. I'll tell you the story in a minute. So, and if you haven't checked out Michael Francine, he tells some good stories about him being in organized crime and confessing to. Anyhow, so he's that's one, and there's another a friend of mine from another part of in the States who also was in the jail around that time, and not connected with Michael Francine and that different mobs in the 70s and 80s. And he was there for racketeering and some charges. Not going to get into the name. There's no need for that. And he said the same thing, basically. But they followed up a question on this particular person and said this. Do you think that the mob or Mexican or somebody else took Jeffrey Epstein out in that jail? And he says, we don't know. So that's up to you guys to decide. But he did also agree with Michael and said there was no way anything could have been Jeffrey Epstein could have committed suicide. So when they say committed suicide, personally, I don't think he did either. I think that somebody took him out. Now, whether it was the CIA, mob, Mexican mob, or a random person, that's up to you guys to debate on here. I don't know if we'll ever have the answer on that. I could not imagine any former president being involved in doing that, like Barack Obama or Trump or Biden administration. But I don't trust the FBI, and that's why I'm worried about the Barack Obama and Tulsi Gabbard bringing this out on the election of the 2016. I don't trust the FBI. Do you guys trust the FBI? Before I go any farther, if you're FBI on here, I'm sure you're a good man or woman. There's a lot of honest FBI, probably more good than bad. But they get corrupted like a lot of us do, right? The Italians, the Irish, Mexican, whatever. So for me, I don't trust a lot of them. That's just me. And I think the one FBIs that get involved and are good people with a great family and serve justice, I think they have no choice to change because it's like it gets corrupted and they fear for their family. I just want to put that out there. Let me just say this again. I smoke cigars with an FBI friend. He's a good guy. I trust him. But he's telling me some stuff. So, and the CIA, look what happened to Donald Trump. They almost took his life, right? In his ear a little bit more, and he's not with us or brain dead. So I don't trust the Secret Service, the CIA, the FBI. I don't trust government. So we'll have to see on how this all unravels with Barack Obama. We'll see. We'll see. Because my next question is this. Austria, how are you over there? Christopher, how you doing? I've been there too. Beautiful there. I've been to a college there. I forget the name of the university. I was there. I did a conference there. All right, where does this story go from here? I'm asking everybody on here. Where does this story, not the Epstein story, but where does the Barack Obama allegedly hoax, cover up in the 2016 election versus Donald J. Trump and Hillary Clinton? Where does it go from here? Does it go to a dead end? Or does it go somewhere else? John, how are you? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from? Hello, Crystal. So the question in the chat is, where do we go from here with the Barack Obama allegedly hoax, cover up, Hillary Clinton, and the rest of these Susan Rice? Does it go to a dead end? Or do they throw a curveball and say, we got answers? What do you think? Let him run. Let him run, Tyler said. Let him run. I see a lot of Epstein in here. Be free to interact with each other on here, but I'm just wondering on the audience on here. I'd just like to know what your thoughts are, because that's what matters. It's what we, as Democrats, Republicans, independents, black, white, gay, straight, Hispanic, and the list continues. Where do we go from here? Thank you. Great hat. I like this. One of my favorites. Blue, how are you? Cindy says they care about Epstein. Janine says Mega wants answers to Epstein too. Oh, absolutely, Janine. Thank you so much for putting that in there. Thank you, Janine. High five, fist bump. Yes. Well, we want it. Mega wants answers. Look, it's not even about great comment. It's about the American people on this channel. We deserve answers on the Epstein files, and we deserve answers on the Russia hoax, allegedly cover-up. Actually, not even a cover-up. What the hell am I talking about? Cover-up. Made-up story by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and Susan Rice and these other names on here. John Bremen. Do you support who? Who's that? Who's that name you put on? Do I support? I don't think you're going to see her anytime soon. So, and politics. And did somebody just renew their membership? I'm trying to go back. Shoot. Whoa, let's go, y'all. 1 month celebration. Appreciate it. Leah Blue, thank you. High five, fist bump. 1 month. Thank you, all memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the memberships on here. All of my loyal subscribers on here. And, of course, the incredible, fantastic French Fries, how are you? Moderators that are on here each and every live stream. And I did take yesterday off. If you're new, like and subscribe and come on board where I'm live almost every day of the week. And we do a lot of short videos on feeding and making homeless awareness, me and my beautiful wife, and many of you's on here. So you can go to the shorts and check those out. And it might put a tear in your eye and you'll get some laughs. But as some of these homeless people are fighting to be alive, and yes, there's homeless under Donald Trump. But the last administration was records. It was like 8 times worse with that committee that was run by Joe Biden. And yes, there was homeless with Barack Obama as well. But the last administration really took this whole world, particularly here in Las Vegas and California and in Chicago and Oregon, in Denver. So that's what we do. We help out. There's plenty of shorts, so check them out. On a rainy day. Also, too, here's something, too, guys, off topic, is YouTube is the #1 highest rating over Netflix, Facebook, X, Instagram, and other social media. What an amazing. More people are watching YouTube news, the Joe Rogans, and everybody else in the South, more than any I just said. Amazing. So shout out to YouTube and Google. It's becoming now, I think, people are going to be watching the news on here. And I don't mean just me, but, other networks, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, and go on there and watch they react. You know why? Because we can go on here and interact with everybody on here, and it becomes somewhat entertainment. But more than that is we see who really cares about the president, whether he or she's a Democrat or Republican or possibly independent. I'm not ruling that out yet either. Future election. We'll get into that on the next live. So this is where your news is. Your news is here on YouTube. More bigger than Facebook. Amazing. And also YouTube TV. You would think I work for YouTube. YouTube TV is the way to go. I got it. It's great. Reasonable prices and good stuff. Now, we're going to get back to this topic one more time. And then if you want, I'll talk about the Epstein for a few minutes as well. Because I see a lot of... I see people in here who really care about the Epstein files. And I do too. So we have 2 stories that are big on the news right now, and that's the Epstein files still, and then we have now the latest, Tulsi Gabbard calling out or getting evidence, not calling out, getting evidence of possibility, allegedly Barack Obama and his team around him at the time interfering, making up a story on the election. Why would anybody do that? Isn't that something you do in high school or grade school? Do you do that as a former president? I feel like sometimes. What's up, William? What's going on, William Rizzo? How you been, my friend? I got you, William. William Rizzo. Good to see you. Thank you for all your support, William. Isn't it something we do in school when we're kids? Make up stories. You know, when you're little, make up stories. I mean, who the hell, why would a sitting president, two-term winner, make up a story like this to get Hillary as the president? Why? I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking you guys. Interesting. I'm reading some comments here. The chat's going quick. Epstein files. What's up, Gary? Interesting. Interesting. Somebody says something about Bin Laden. I don't get it. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Why Barack Obama allegedly would do that. Somebody says impeach Trump. Epstein files now. All right, how many of you on here feel that the Epstein files are more important than the Barack Obama allegedly hoax made up story on Russia and Russia interfering with the United States election? Who feels that, you know, I would say, me personally, both are important, but I like to read yours. Thank you, Crystal. Both? Yeah, I would say both as well. I would say both are important. And why I say both, you guys can disagree right now, but why I say both is one is involving children, and they need answers. And also, I like to know if there was anybody, former presidents, athletes, entertainers, allegedly that were involved. But on the Barack Obama, that's big too, because if he made up a story to possibly set up an election for future Democrats like Hillary and in the future, then that's to me, that's worse than Watergate. That's worse than Nixon. I mean, he would if they can pull this out, allegedly, Barack Obama could be in some serious problem and serve jail time. But I don't know. I don't trust the FBI. Mike, thank you for being here, and thank you for that, bringing up the membership. Yes, we do have memberships available, as Mike alluded to in the chat. Our little subscriber and moderator. If you want to become a member, it's a low price of $1.99. So we appreciate it. And 100% of the proceeds on this channel help out the homelessness, fighting homeless here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Paul, how are you, Paul? Good to see you. Hello, Paul. Russia released Epstein files. Russia and Epstein. Rainbow Melon, I think it was. How you doing? Y'all need Jesus. I agree. But I don't judge of anybody who doesn't believe. That's me. Ozzy Crosby. Let me read Ozzy Crosby. Trump was never on the island of, what's that, Lolia Express. Joseph, how are you? Dershowitz, whatever how that lawyer was, he made that comment. Epstein's lawyer said, hey, there is no president that's alive that's on that list. So that means Barack Obama, Biden, Clinton, and of course Trump, if you believe the attorney. Epstein did not commit suicide. Yeah, I don't think so either, but that's me. Others would say he did, and there's a few, well, maybe more than a few, who think he's alive. I'll ask this one more time. We've been on for about an hour, and thank you so much for being here. Do you actually think that Jeffrey Epstein could be alive? Could be alive. Bondi's going to get fired. You know, it's funny, Lemonhead. First of all, Lemonhead, thank you for being here, and I appreciate all your support. It's funny you say that because if Pam Bondi does not handle this, what Tulsi Gabbard's bringing to the Barack Obama and Susan Rice, if it'll be on her lap, Pam Bondi. If she kind of just butcher it and rips it up, or just comes out the wrong way, or go on Fox and CNN. Well, she won't go on CNN, but you know what I mean. And she kind of just lets it disappear. Let me tell you something. Then I will fire Pam Bondi. No, Pam Bondi would have to go. Now, I'm sure right now, I'm sure everything's there for her to expose this. It'll be up to her, Pam Bondi. So, yeah, it's funny you said that. Trump is hiding the truth from us. He's scared. Yeah, that's a fair comment. But when you say hiding the truth, I'm sure you're alluding to Jeffrey Epstein, right? So, yes, there's some truth to that. The question was, Trump's hiding the truth. I believe that subscriber meant the Epstein files. And he might be because to protect this nation, you know, meaning he might really know who some of these allegedly possible government officials or whatever are on that list. So yes, I just so happen to believe that. I do. Yeah. You know, some would come on here, good times, how are you? And say, no, Trump doesn't know. But I just so happen to believe some of that. I do. And he's scared because, you know, they try to take him out. And he's got another 3 years left, 3.5 years left. He's been president for 6 months. He's done more than any other president, any other governor, any other mayor. Yes, he's made some bumps here and there. He's human, but he's scared. He's scared for his life, his family, and all of us. I mean, wouldn't you be scared? Let's say, theoretically, conversation. Let's say that Trump had the list. If Trump knew some, and he knew there were some that were Democrats or Republicans. I know a lot of you say, well, he would call out the Democrats. Not so fast, because it could explore. I mean, it could open up a whole ball game. And I'm not sure I believe everything that Epstein, Dorkowitz, whatever the hell his name is. I'm sorry if I pronounce if he's watching, Dorkowitz, I don't know. I don't believe he's telling the truth. I just don't buy it. And I think he's scared too. Let's be honest. I think he's worried about, I mean, he is 83 years old too, but still, yeah. He probably thinks he's going to live another 20, 30 years. So I'm not sure I believe him either. So I'm just being honest. He might be telling some of the truth as far as presidents alive not on the list, including Barack Obama and the Clintons and the Bushes and of course Trump and Biden. He might be telling that part the truth, but when he says that there is no list, what do you mean there's no list? You're telling me your client, Jeffrey Epstein, I'm not an attorney, but I know a lot. We know attorneys, right? We have family members. There's no way in hell that Epstein didn't tell him something to try to get out of this. That's bullshit. So I don't believe that part. And I got to tell you, I think Tucker could be correct as far as possible Israel being involved somewhat. And it doesn't mean Netanyahu was there on the island, but there might be some truth to that, what Tucker said. So, thank you, Crystal. Seen that. So I don't know. I think there's more involved than that will probably, unfortunately, never know. What we might find out as far as the Epstein, and we'll go back to the Barack Obama in a second, what we possibly could find out, because it will go to a grand jury, but it'll take time, like a year. What we could find out was this. Maybe some evidence of certain clients that the family feels okay to talk about possible, they'll say, well, for an example, conversation, Jeffrey Epstein, sexual, did, it's even hard to talk about, had some sexual encounters with minor women, along with 3, 4, 5, 6 other people. And they might leave it at that. And they might even say, see, they won't say government, because once they say the word government, then it's back open. But they could say other people that are important in today's society. And now mine can go, okay, movie star, singer, Diddy, whatever, right? And then people, but I don't know if they're ever going to say the name. And it's unfortunate. It really is. And then going back to Barack Obama, if he did make this up, and he's still innocent, but if Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard is correct, and I think she is. I read people very well. She's just too calm. If she's correct, and he made this up, man, will we find the answers on that? I don't know, guys. I don't think so. And it's a shame. Because, first of all, here's what it would do. You guys want to hear it? Yes or no? Here's what it would do. If, for some reason, they find out evidence that Barack Obama made this story up in an election with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Donald Trump won that election. Pretty good, right? If for some reason they found evidence, I think they would bury it. I think the FBI would bury it. I tell you why. The Democrat Party right now, in Italian, is finito. Finish, destroy. It's gone. There's not one Democrat, for exception of maybe Josh Shapiro and maybe one other, who actually has enough balls to call out the party. All the rest, that's one thing the Democrats do, is they stick together. But in this case, they're sticking together to lose. Right now, if you're a Democrat, a moderate, or any Democrat, you should be very worried and listen to Stephen A. Smith, ESPN. That guy's a smart guy. Now, I don't like Hope run for president. He calls out the party. They are just destroying themselves in so many ways. Protecting immigration still. Going against ICE. Right? You can say, well, the tariff tax. I don't know. That's just a debate. Parties do that with the tariff tax, and I think they're working. With the thing with Iran, with the taking out the nukes that no other president has done. Stay with me. Clinton talked about it. Barack Obama even talked about it, right? And Bush. Nobody's done it. And they say, no, that was made up. They didn't really do it. They hurt themselves. These mayors are running to try to make it socialism. That's the biggest reason. Is I'm afraid that my Democrat friends, I have a lot of Democrat friends who are now becoming independent. Not necessarily a Trump supporter, but they're switching over because they don't trust the party. When you let illegals come here illegal and turn your back for Americans for food stamps that we're not getting, and there's a lot of American people who need food stamps and Medicaid and help here in America, and they were giving it to the illegals for future elections. That kind of falls together with Barack Obama. They would lose trust with Barack Obama because, oh my God, we didn't like what Biden did. He was old. A lot of you won't admit to this. He was not fit for president, or Kamala. But we did have a decent president, Barack Obama. This is not me talking. I'm talking as a Democrat. If this comes out, Obama health insurance sucks, by the way. I'll throw that out there. I had it. He will go down to hurt all future Democrat presidents in our lifetime. It would be destroyed. And ladies and gentlemen, I am MAGA, I am a Republican, but you need two parties. Now, I know a lot of Trump stations will say, no, we only want one. Let's be honest. You need competition. I have a business. I need competition. Pizza places need competition. We need competition. And that's why I don't think this story, I think this story will be dead soon as it hits the FBI, CIA. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, we don't know if it's true, but I have faith in Tulsi Gabbard. It would destroy the Democrat Party, not forever, but for certainly the next 12 years. 12 years, maybe 8 years, and you would have our leadership run by a Republican Party. In fact, I'll go a little farther. They would probably not take the Senate. Maybe win the House. That's about it. So I'm not saying I agree. I think if evidence are out there and this was a hoax or a made-up story, then I think we, the people, need to know about it. But I'm being realistic and honest with you. Excuse me. That this probably will be dead. It won't go any farther. So Barack Obama, if you're watching, you could probably relax a little bit. But we'll see. You never know. Things have twisted and turned, and we are in 2025, halfway through the year already. Holy shit. So anything can change. Anything can change. Trump all day. What's up, Tom? Good to see you. Files. People are saying files. Obama distraction. Tactics identified. Thank you for that comment. Fair comment. Epstein. Files. I see files in Epstein. So I see a lot on here. And I see a lot on other YouTube channels. I know it's important, guys. I know it's important. It's important to me. It's important to Mega. It's important to Democrats, Independents, all of us. But unfortunately, I don't know how much we're going to find out about that, except what I just said a few minutes ago. Now, I appreciate you guys. We have 187 likes. Thank you so much for being here, all moderators. Appreciate it. Mike M., Crystal, and Janine. I don't know if Lemon J was on here. Whoever is on here is a moderator. If I missed you, like and subscribe. I appreciate all memberships and all those renewing their memberships, and certainly all the donations. And also check out my shorts. I got shorts that I put on almost every day out there for the homeless, and me and my wife and friends of mine here in Las Vegas, and a lot of you help out when you can. We help out the homeless. When I say we help out the homeless, we help out the blacks, the whites, and yes, there's Italians out there, and yes, there's Jewish out there, and yes, there's illegals out there. Do I help them out? Damn right. They're human beings. I don't want them coming here illegal, but I'm going to feed people that need food or water, because that's how I was brought up, and that's the American way. That's not the Democrat way or the Republican way or independent. It's the American way. So I help them all out. I don't ask them who they support or how they came here. And speaking of homeless, I'm hoping that Trump will do more for the homeless, or I'll call him out. Simple as that. But right now he's taking steps in that area. He really is. He's done it in California already with the veterans. But much, much more needs to be done from the administration, because the other administrations never cared. No, I'm not, to that question. The other administrations never cared about homeless. Actually, one president actually did, and it was probably the second worst administration ever, and he did it at the end, and that was Jimmy Carter. I'll give him a couple claps for that. Jimmy Carter actually built homes and helped out the homeless. I mean, that's probably all he, because as far as his other, but you know what? Jimmy Carter was not a corrupted president. He was just I hate to say this word, he was just stupid, I don't think Jimmy Carter was corrupted. He wasn't fit for president. I take that word back. He wasn't fit for president. What's up, Indiana? Brittany, how are you, Brittany? Good to see you on here. Now, if you're new, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. What we're discussing is Epstein files a little bit, and then the Barack Obama allegedly making up a story on Russia involving our 2016 election. with Donald Trump, first term president, excuse me, and Hillary Clinton. And there was no evidence at all, according to Tulsi Gabbard, of any interference on the Republican side. And she took it farther and said there was no interference on the Democrat side. It was an election that was won square. It was no involvement on anything like that. As far as Russia, interference somewhere else, we don't know. I'm opening up some, but there was no interference with Russia at all. Trump won that election. Actually, I'll go a little farther. Not only Trump won the election, Hillary lost it. Hillary ran a horrible campaign. And I'm going to call out a Republican who ran out a horrible campaign. And he's Italian. And his name is Rudy Giuliani. Some just run a horrible campaign. Remember Rudy? He ran all his election in Florida. Horrible. Hillary just ran a horrible. Also, I think what hurt her, you know what else hurt her was Barack Obama. He hurt her because if he made that story up, I keep using the words allegedly on YouTube because it is. He's still innocent. Barack Obama is still innocent. But if it was true, it actually hurt her because then she went and covered it up. Remember? Shall I remind everybody? She erased a lot of emails. So she lost that election. Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian agent? You really believe that? Everybody, to that comment? Somebody said? I would have to say I disagree with you, but that's your thoughts, and you're entitled to your comment. Yeah, I like Tulsi Gabbard. She's fit for president. Somebody said, yes, I agree with that comment. Some said no. I think Tulsi Gabbard could have a chance. You know what? She has a chance to be the first female president. Because what I just said, not so much because she's getting. You have to give her credit. Even if this story dies with the FBI, and it doesn't go any farther, I would give her credit for exposing. But she's better than Pam Bondi, right? She's good. And she's calm. And she don't take bribes from the Republican Party at all. So watch out for that name, Tulsi Gabbard. Watch out for Tulsi Gabbard. Ozzy Ray. How are you, Ozzy? A couple Aussies on here today. Always good to see Ozzy, our loyal subscriber, who sponsors these channels. Epstein. She is a Russian ass. Yeah, I see the Russian thing coming up. Why are you guys thinking are you really believe that comment that she is involved with Russia? Come on, guys. You think that Russia and Putin wouldn't? No chance. Mario, how are you? I can see the Epstein on here over and over. Betty. Hello. So I know it's important for you, and it's important to me, but it's also important that we can get the truth on a possibility of former allegedly President Barack Obama, who won 2 terms. If he made up a story, I have a couple questions. Why? And can this happen again? And where does it go from here? Because if he made up a story, on the flip side, and we don't stop this, how about a future Democrat president or a Republican president? I'll go a little farther to make up a story because I don't trust any of them. I trust Trump. I don't trust any of them. I didn't trust George Bush. I voted for him. I don't trust a whole lot of them because they get in there and they make, it's based on our values and where we're heading and all. And I base that when I vote. I voted for Bill Clinton at the time. I thought Bill did good on 1 term. I don't trust them. I don't trust the government. I don't trust the CIA, the FBI. And, I voted for Trump because I felt that he was, and I still believe that he's working for our future. I still believe to this day he's not a politician. Is he a blabbermouth? He's a blabbermouth at times. Does he drop the F word once in a while that a lot of women don't? Yes, and says things that probably shouldn't be said, but I still trust him over anybody else at the moment. But going forward, I kind of like Tulsi Gabbard. I really do. Now I want to check our poll real quick. Did Obama make Russia hoax up? I put yes and no. Yes, 36%, and no say 60%. 64, excuse me. Sorry, 64 say no. So 64%, more than half on this live, think Obama didn't do it. And that doesn't mean that's a Democrat or Republican. That just means it's not true. But I'm telling you, it's not gonna go much farther. Well, it will go farther. We're gonna hear about this. Today's Sunday. Happy Sunday. We'll hear about this in the days to come. Probably in the weeks to come. It'll end up, not going anywhere. They're gonna probably say there's nothing there. Same stuff they do with Epstein. We have information revolving a story with Russia, but there's no proof. Here's what they'll say. The lawyers will say there's no proof that it was actually made up, but there's no proof that it interfered. They're going to give us these answers that we're going to want to hear on depending on what news outlet we watch. And it's a shame. It is a shame. Because why would Tulsi Gabbard hurt her? Let me ask the viewers this. Why would Tulsi Gabbard want to make something up like this? Because she's still young in politics. Can somebody look up her age? Tulsi Gabbard, one of my moderators, or anybody. What's her age? Because she knows that she can be running for president or vice president. And I think she enjoys the politics. I don't think she's corrupted. Why would she hurt her leg? It don't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. I'm sure she's looked into it. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. 44, Joey. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Joey. Thank you. 44. That's young. That's young, Ozzy. So, 44 years old. She's in her prime. Female. Conservative, but honest. Don't take bribes. Janine, thank you. Crystal, thank you. Appreciate that. So why would she make up? Why would she? Because I'm sure she would say, hey, I want to see this stuff. Better yet, I want to see it again. Better yet, let me see it again. Bring in some people. Let me read this. Barack Obama. She does look good. She is. And she's attractive. And guys, Ozzy, thank you for bringing it up. Looks do matter. Trust me. Looks matter. You got to be smart. You got to be honest. But looks matter when it comes to a female. And I'm going to go a little farther. I don't agree on all of this, but looks matter with presidents. I mean, look at Bill Clinton. Say it as it is. He was a good-looking man, right? So, but looks matter. She could be running the nation. That's why. So why would she lie? Or, excuse me. Why would she open up this allegations on Barack Obama and Susan Rice, John Bremen, James Clapper, Hillary Clinton, and there's a lot of other names. Why would she do that? Can somebody tell me? Anybody. And I don't mean a little person or a troll, AKA. I mean somebody who's open-minded. Somebody open-minded can tell me why Tulsi Gabbard would do this. Anybody. But I want somebody who's open-minded. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. Just open-minded. Why would she bring this up? Anybody? Why would Tulsi Gabbard bring this up on Friday or Saturday over the weekend here? Fabian Torres, how are you? American First, God bless you. Great name. I love that name. YouTube name, by the way. Love that name. You know what? I'm going to say it again. High five, fist bump. American First YouTube channel. Think about it. You don't know if he's a Democrat, Republican, or independent. And it doesn't matter to me. What matters is American first. I say that. American first. Distraction. Somebody said distraction. That's a fair comment. A fair comment. That's a fair comment. Where are you? I'm at the lakes. I'm in Las Vegas. A fair comment. Got to joke around a little bit, guys. I forgot my question. Oh. It's been a long live. Live TV, live YouTube. The question was, why would Tulsi Gabbard make make this up or tell this story that's been out there as far as Barack Obama? 201 likes. Thank you so much. Mike, thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate it. 201 likes. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal and Janine. Mike M. Ozzy Crosby says, agree. Release the files. I agree. Thank you, Crystal. Here, let me read this comment. Tulsi wouldn't have made the top 100 on most president lists. That's how unqualified she is. That's your comment, and you're entitled to your comment. I disagree with 100%, but there's nothing wrong with that comment. Oh, really, Ozzy? I don't know what's going on with the notifications. YouTube. You would think. Sal, do you like Tulsi? Lemonhead, yeah, I do. You would think, Ozzy, and everybody. By the way, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Make sure you have all notifications, like I'm sure Ozzy, Crystal, and most of my subscribers do. I don't know how the algorithm works. Supposedly, if you're on whatever, not just my channel, but whatever channel you watch, entertainment channel, pizza business, whatever it might be, politics, Trump, whatever, Democrat, it's exposed to, if you're on there a few times. What I heard here from YouTube is it gets out there, but I don't know why the notifications are not going through. But I will reach out to YouTube. I'm not sure they YouTube team even knows either, on their defense. Glory to God, Kathy. Happy Sunday to you. Trudy D, how are you? I disagree with your comment, but I read out your Now, if you're new to the channel, a lot of people come on. Trolls, aka little people. Thank you. Somebody said, I like your hat. I have no problem with anybody disagreeing with me or, anybody. I'll speak on behalf of everybody on here that are Trump supporters. I would say, on Democrats too, I would say most people have no problem with disagreement. What is wrong with that? And I like that. But it's where it becomes, threatening to us on here who are interacting with each other, as YouTube Goombas and Italian friends or presidents. And I mean, you see the words I use, allegedly, because we don't know. So, I have no problem with anybody, not like, well, here we go, MAGA. No, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a supporter for the people. And not afraid to call him out when he's wrong, in my opinion, sometimes. We love Trump. We love Trump. So do I. High five, fist bump. But not afraid to call him out on some of the statements he makes. I don't see a problem with that. Because how do people get better when you get called out? All right. I disagree with Sal on about 40% of the stuff, but I still think he's good people. I appreciate that comment. Thank you. And that's good. I like the way you said that. I really do. Disagree. I think you disagree. Yeah, we can't. If we all agreed on something, if we all agreed that Diet Coke was no good, you're supposed to be. And I think MAGA, Make America Great Again, we should be able to disagree on certain topics. Just like Democrats and moderate Democrats, if they want to go anywhere in the election, they should disagree and agree. Republicans, whatever, it's two parties, but you have some on the Republican side. Let's be honest, they go a little too far. Let's be honest. Can I say that? There's some on the Republican side that go a little too far. Let's be honest. I've heard it. I'm not going to repeat it. Not on here, but I heard it from friends. I can't even say. And then you got this far left, crazy lunatics that believe in their own bullshit. Bernie Sanders and AOC and the rest. Who the hell's the guy from Jersey? Cory Booker, and then the mayor. That really think that socialism and setting prices in the supermarkets and running that and sending stimulus checks out and causing a pandemic to be worse than it is. And I've lost friends and family. It was very bad. But to shut down for months and years, people are scared, the far left, that this could happen again. Now, should we have been shut down for a week? Yes. A month till we figured it out. But to shut us down, to send us money, and making us lazy, guys, all precautions. Be careful. We have a pandemic. People are dying. I've lost family. But to shut down all small businesses and close down gyms, keep liquor stores open, and this, I mean, come on. We don't want to see that again. So you have moderate Democrats that are very smart. Let's be honest, educated people that have always been a Democrat, and I get it, and they want their party to be successful, and they probably agree on closing the border. They probably agree on a lot of Donald Trump's. Maybe they disagree on tariffs, tax. Maybe they disagree on other things, but they want their Democrat Party to continue to have a party that it was with Bill Clinton. And as far as MAGA, we want to make America great and stand up. But as far as some of these Republicans who are saying certain things I don't like either, like we all should be one way or another. No, we should be able to disagree and make comments on our president, on Trump. And if you're a Democrat, you should be able to comment on Biden. Most of you Democrats know he wasn't fit. He was old. He had Alzheimer's stage 2. And probably at the time, we don't know, and my prayers are with him on the bone cancer, probably had, who doesn't check your prostate at that age? Come on, I check mine every year. And I'm half his age. So most Democrats probably said, he's not the president. So be honest to your party. That's how you win elections, is you're honest, and us, the people, should be able to call the president out, in my opinion. All right. Dylan, how are you? Now, we've been on for an hour and a half. We had over 1,000 in this chat today, or 1,200. Thank you so much. 209 likes. Appreciate it. Thank you, all new members. And I appreciate all new subscribers. Thank you for being here today. I want to check out our poll one last time, if I may. Did Obama make Russia hoax up? 35% says yes. And 65% in this chat say no. So, no. 65% no. And that's what we've been discussing for almost an hour and a half, along with the Jeffrey Epstein files, as they're still in my chat. And of course, at the end of the day, we want to keep this nation safe, common sense, and a better world than we were. And recover from mistakes. But if this is a mistake if this was false or a hoax, then justice should be served. If, allegedly. What's up, Nebraska? What's going on in Nebraska, in the farms in beautiful Nebraska? Beautiful Nebraska. Where else you guys coming in from today on this Sunday? Is everybody enjoying their Sunday? Everybody enjoying their weekend? Glenn says release those files. What's up, Glenn? Canada's in the house. What's going on in Canada? Frank Eagle, always a pleasure to see you, Frank. Missouri. What's happening in Missouri? Somebody said nobody likes Trump. Well, you know that's lies because Trump won the election. Nobody. So when you say things, I'm wondering, did you have your coffee yet? Did you have your coffee when you make those comments? That's like saying no one likes Barack Obama, right? Because there's people who like Barack Obama because he won 2 terms, right? So, anyhow, probably didn't have your coffee. John says no one likes you. That's okay, John. That's good to know. Thank you very much for your comment. No one likes you, and no one cares. No one cares. Release the files. What's up, Rolando? Thank you, Crystal. No one likes you. No one cares. Oregon. Beautiful Oregon. Love to be in Oregon right now. What's the weather in Oregon? Dustin Nunez. What's happening? Thank you for the membership. Dustin, high five, fist bumps in the house. Good to see Dustin. Appreciate the membership. Trump PDF. Very nice weather. Good. Good. Trump's approval rating, no, his approval rating is high. People love him. All people. Even though they're disappointed on a couple things, they know we're in a safer, better economy. You know, gas is now cheap. I mean, I know Crystal in California it's not, and Vegas is not down, but it is down. That has a lot to do with the governor in both states, Nevada and California. You think anybody cares about Mickey Mantle? Mickey Mantle don't care about you. Nobody cares. Mickey Mantle, where did that come in from? Yeah, really? Yeah. Not tired of winning. That's a good comment. That's a good comment. Not tired of winning. Keep on winning. And that goes for my Eagles, too. I see that, Crystal. Keep on winning. Whether it's your NFL team or Donald Trump, is what he was alluding to was Donald Trump. I just showing off the Eagles because we got our rings yesterday or 2 days ago. The Eagles got their rings. I didn't get it. Keep winning. Not tired of winning, I think it was, right? Not tired of winning. Keep winning. But to win, you got to keep pushing. Let's go Cowboys. We got that we still got that bet on for week 1. Crystal, we have that bet on. I'm worried first week. I'm a little worried playing the Cowboys first week. You know, different setup, different team a little bit, different coach. The Bronx Tale. A good movie, actually. Bronx Tale is a good movie, and it's just good. A lot of things that went on in that movie. Yeah. What's up, Joe Walker? Thank you for the likes. Go Birds, go Birds. Hell yeah. Best NFL team right now. The best. What do you want from me? We got an Italian coach and a Jewish Howie Roseman, the best GM. Combination, forget it. I'm only kidding, guys. I'm only kidding. And guys from Alabama. Facts. But I'm only kidding. Release the list, Albert says. Yes, we want justice. Arrest Obama. Yes, MAGA. I'm reading comments, guys. I'm not saying it. But I agree. If it's true. If it's true, I agree on that comment. But we need proof. You're always innocent before proven guilty. Epstein loves you. I don't think he even knows me. If he's alive. There we go again. There we go again. Happy Sunday. Epstein loves MAGA. That approval rating is totally, it's not up to, it's not right. I've seen it. I've seen what you said. It doesn't matter really, because Trump's the president, like the flag says behind me, Ozzy. What's it say? Get over it, Trump won. There it is. I moved that away. Get over it, Trump won. Our Cowboys know kicker got arrested for weed and unregistered firearms. That's not good. They need a new kicker. They need a new kicker. God bless the American flag. God bless Donald Trump. And God bless you and your family, our moderators. Shout out to Isabel on the backside and Aaron, two people you don't see on the chat. Thank you so much. God bless everybody. God bless the trolls and the little people. They're people too. I'm reading comments. I'm not staring. I'm trying to read comments here, but they're going so quick. Trump is guilty. Somebody says, what is he guilty of? Let us know what he's guilty of. Don't just say Trump is guilty. What is he guilty of? Penny, how are you, Penny? I see it. I know what you mean. Fly, Eagles, fly. I hear you, Cindy. Go Birds. South Philly, South Jersey. Forget about it. The best. Like Trump. Cindy saying, well, I don't know about that yet. Trump is guilty of what? I didn't get that. CSA? I'll read a couple more comments here. 34 felonies, and he was found non-guilty. So there was no felonies, no misdemeanors, no gross misdemeanors, no kicker charges, cowboy charges. Crystal? Yeah, there's nothing like that. No charges at all. Where are your glasses at? Broken. Oh no, I have them. I have another spare in the car. I look close because the messages are flying by. That's why I go like that. Smash the button. Thank you. Michael, how are you? Joshua, good to see you. Somebody said bullshit. Bullshit of what? He was found guilty. Trump won the last 3 elections. He won 2. James says he smells. I smell, or Trump smells, or both. Veterans for Trump. Hey, first of all, God bless our veterans. Thank you for putting that in there. Who is that? Renee. If you're a vet, or God bless all our vets on here who fought for this beautiful country, like Crystal, her husband, and many others on here. And I mean, that's Democrats and Republicans, or don't care. God bless. Without our veterans, we're not doing a live. We're not here. So we got to remember Memorial Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day. God bless. And I really mean that. It doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican. They're the vets. Fought for this beautiful country. And yes, some of them love Trump and some of them don't. And the ones who don't, God bless them. You know, they just have their opinion on politics. Why does that interfere with our veterans? That should never interfere with our veterans. You know, I have a veteran friend. He's a Democrat. He fought for this country. I'll have a cigar with him. So what? I'm not going to... That goes for anybody, whether, you know, fought for this country or not. You should never unfriend somebody because of politics or a family member. That's bullshit. Particularly the veterans. And we need more help on the veterans on the streets. All right, I'll move on. So thank you for your service. And real quick, guys, thank you for the support we had in the mountains there. it was a fun time, and I enjoyed that hour in the rain. I still think I look at that video. It was just a lot of fun. I was scared for a little bit, but I had a lot of fun in the rain and the cigar and chatting with you guys about the nasty weather in the mountains of Las Vegas. So thank you. Jeremy, how are you? Tinfoil hat, somebody said. It's kind of funny. Cheryl says, I love the hat. Thank you, Cheryl. I do too. The hat. Love Trump. Release the files. Trump's a criminal. All kinds of mixed comments on here, huh? Okay, I'll tell you this. Who on here really thinks Barack Obama is going to face charges? Yes or no? Real quick. Who in here thinks that Barack Obama, and allegedly, if he did make up the story, no? About this, Janine says no? No? Renee says you do? Okay. Justin, no? The question was if Barack Obama is found guilty of making up a story on the interfering with the election in Russia. That was the question. Most say no. A couple say yes. Interesting. Vance and Trump in 28. I don't think you're going to see it. You might see Vance, but not Trump. Trump lost in 2020. Trump will be too old. But what is old? First of all, because we know Biden was old, but he looked old. And in my opinion, he probably had some dementia. But if somebody's old and with it, and I'm not saying Trump's going to be the president in 28, because it's not because he can't run a third term, because you can do it, right, Mike M? It happened in New Mexico with a mayor, and it can happen, but he won't. But what is too old? If your mind is there, like Bernie Sanders. I would never vote for Bernie Sanders. I've said this multiple times. He believes in his own bullshit, but his mind is there. So if you're a Democrat and you believe in socialism, I shouldn't say this, but his mind is there. He's not too old. I mean, he's probably getting to the point, though, where he's getting too old and slowing down. But, I'm just saying, what is too old? But I hear you. It would be nice to have, I think most people would say, somebody in their 40s maybe. Like Tulsi Gabbard. 44 years old, somebody said. Or 50 years old. Or even 58 years old, or 59, or 60. But what is old anymore? If your mind is sharp and you're, God willing, in decent shape, and thank God that you have no serious problems, then why not be fit for president, right? So, that's just my opinion. Let's see here. Man, I'm 47 years young, but not old. No. Now, there is some people that are 45, Crystal, 47, 59. Stay with me, that are old. Because they tell themselves they're old. So I'm telling you guys, we're getting off topic here, but we've been on for an hour and 44 minutes. If you're 47 like Crystal or 59 like me, and you call yourself old all the time and you feel old and you make those old man noises, and I do sometimes, then you're old. But if your mind is sharp and you feel good and keep it going and be positive, of course be fit for president, then why not? Deport Millennium. Why? She's beautiful. I wouldn't deport her. She's too pretty. Actually, she's not my type, but she is beautiful. You know what I mean? That makes sense. She's a beautiful, classy woman. By the way, speaks, 4 or 5 languages. I can't even speak one. So why deport her? She's legal. Her English is awful. I wouldn't say awful. It's good. I mean, kind of sexy. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, who the hell has perfect English anyhow? But really, messages are flying in here. Isabel is taking Spanish and French this school year. God bless her. I took French. I can't say one word. God bless her. Anybody who speaks a second language. And her English maybe is not great, but what is great? Broken English. What's up, Detroit? Now, I appreciate everybody being here on this Sunday. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, whatever's left of it. And your work week ahead. Always stay positive. Be true to who you are. Don't ever let politics interfere with your marriage or family. And playing the flute again. That's good that she's active, Crystal. That's important for children, adults, all of us to be active. And like Crystal says on her daughter, Isabel, or just playing the flute, learning the language, whatever. That's the thing. Always stay active in something. Let's see here. Share. Thank you, Chair. Appreciate that comment. Yes, thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate everybody supporting, particularly the lives and the homeless shorts. We had one viral video, two maybe. That's all because of you guys. It's great. And at the end of the day, it's not about viral. It's about making homeless awareness. Thank you, Ozzy. God bless you. Making homeless awareness. And like speaking of Ozzy, and other people would say, all we can do is try. Trump is doing that. Makes mistakes. I make mistakes. But if we can continue trying to help out the veterans, homeless people, and yes, some just are lazy people. And yes, some want to be out there. But there's a whole lot of them out there who are just lost focus, lost people in their family, and are working and just can't afford rent or a mortgage. And there's a lot of things that we need to do to get home buyers in. Don't get me started on that. And get these interest rates down. I'm getting off topic, but all we can do is try to help out these homeless people. And we're making a difference here in Las Vegas because there's more YouTube channels now doing that. Their little system's working. More churches now are getting involved. Although I'm Catholic and I'm proud, but I do call them out too. Sorry, my Catholic friends. You wonder how much is actually going there. So, I just enjoy doing this, and I thank everybody on here and continue. And hopefully in your neck of the woods, you can go out and use your own judgment, take a friend and bring them a cup of coffee and a bottle of water and their sandwich. Or if you can't do that in your neck of the woods, just go approach them and ask them if they need anything, a blanket or a tent or anything like that. Because that's what we do. We help out our neighbors, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, you're homeless, our veterans, like Sylvester Stallone says, they should never be homeless on the street. Oh, well, they're alcoholics. No, bullshit. We need to spend money, our taxpayer money. I want to see mine goes, or even if you don't pay taxes. We should help out the veterans. They fought for this country. Work on mental illness. Work on helping him or her out. No reason they should be sleeping on the street. Breaks my heart. Hey, guys, thank you so much for joining our live. Appreciate it, guys. Always spend time with yourself. Appreciate it. A great live. Thank you all moderators. Nothing you can ever do wrong. Thank you for all the donations on here today, all the memberships. Make sure you support your other YouTube channels if you like their content. Hit the like and subscribe. Don't be shy. God bless everybody and have a great rest of your Sunday. See you on the next live. Make sure you have the notifications set. Thank you. God bless. God bless everybody.